don't want Obamacare. Everyone I know, including myself, has had doubling. I see instances of only 70% increases the last 2 years. And then they announced now, of officially, starting next month, they're going to increase some more. And then when you complain, they go, oh, shut up, conspiracy theorist. It doesn't work when everybody's getting their increased bill. Obama's running around shutting coal power plants down everywhere. People see their power bill going up. Austin is about to shut down. It owned 4 power plants. They're about to shut down their final power plant in Fayetteville, a gigantic modern facility, something like 60, 70 miles from Austin. And that will increase prices even more. And they're not even going to bring on solar or wind to replace it. They're just going to screw everybody and buy the power from Mexico, and they'll lose half its transmission from Mexico. But insiders are making deals. They don't care. I mean, it's just unbelievable, the amount of criminal takeover going on, but it's good to see a huge sustained awakening. Now, we're going to cover news when we come back. We're going to blitz news, Arctic vortex, you name it. Dwarfing in ratings across the board, MSNBC and CNN. Go look at the Alexa ratings. Go look at the Arbitron ratings. Go look at that compared to something like Nielsen with CNN's top shows having 1 million viewers, MSNBC 500,000. They're a joke. How do they stack up against Rush Limbaugh with 10 million listeners a day, or Michael Savage with 7 million listeners a day, or Glenn Beck with 7 million listeners a day, or this show with 3 million terrestrial listeners a day? That's a very conservative number, by the way. And then on the internet, 600,000 podcasts, 2 or 3 million YouTube views a day, all the other things added together, 18 million people a week conservatively watch or listen to this show. But they are mainstream media because they have big corporate sponsors and big fancy studios. Well, guess what? I like my little cozy radio studio. I have a big giant studio built by the same people that built major Fox News studios in New York. I have one now, with the jumbotrons and the whole 9 yards and the boom cameras and everything else, and I'm just ready to flip the satellites on and go on cable. And getting very close. But I'm not even in a hurry because I already arrived a long time ago. This is just adding icing to the cake, cherries on top of the sundae. The dinosaur media is dead. They were dead 15 years ago when Matt Drudge gave his famous speech in 1999 at the press club and told the media there, you'll all be needing new jobs in 10 to 15 years, and they laughed at him. You know, I don't think I ever aired that 40-something minute long Drudge special with his speech and then all the clips backing up what he said. We ought to air that someday this week in one of the hours of the show. It was pretty powerful. I heard part of it, but I didn't air the whole thing. It was called How Mount Drudge Changed the World, updated. And again, when you say Drudge, it's like calling a search engine Google. We touchstone that a lot because everybody knows what I'm talking about. It's kind of like if I'm talking about government secret testing, I say Tuskegee. Or if you're talking about bad guys, you know, you say Nazis. Or if you're talking about changing how the media works, being a trailblazer, you say Drudge. Or people say conspiracy theorist, they say Alex Jones. Well, what does that mean? It means I question known liars, I do historical research, and they don't control reality anymore. So more and more, it's not even about the news, and I'm going to cover it all. We got a special guest coming up and a special report. It's about, when is this facade collapse? We started the show today with a David Knight report that's going to be up on Infowars.com titled CNN Death Spiral. It'll go up for everybody who's a radio listener in the next hour to Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. But we just premiered the audio and video here, showing CNN lying, showing them using blue screens, faking locations, showing them deceiving people, and that's why their top shows have 1 million viewers. Their top show 20-something years ago had like 15 million viewers. It's a joke, but they still have that air of arrogance, the emperor's new clothes syndrome. But I think they're the only ones that don't know that they've collapsed. What is it, Dish Network or DirecTV just dumped them? I mean, you can get, yeah, Dish Network. Folks, we can get on Dish Network. We've been talking to them. They want us on. Do you understand that? And the CEO just said they don't have an audience. I don't care if they used to be big. They're off. And it said, when I was reading the article about it in a trade publication, that the CEO was giddy and laughing. That's because I happen to know the CEO doesn't like the New World Order. I'm just going to leave it at that. So that's where all this is coming down. The crowd is leaving the controlled left. They're leaving all the people that sit up there and make pronouncements and say, if you don't accept gun control and live disarmed, we're going to call you racist. And they'll call you racist and then wait for you to fall down in a fetal position and start urinating on yourself. And when it doesn't happen, they go, racist, double racist. And then you go, I don't care. And they go, homophobe, sexist, closed-minded, stupid, whacked out, crazy, crazy, crazy. Those are all badges of courage now, because people know it doesn't mean anything. When you call someone a name or an extremist or a tabloid journalist, they call everybody that. Oh, that's just tabloid junk media. Alex Jones just wants ratings, a bunch of hype, bunch of drudge, bunch of tabloid. But then you go to the mainstream media, they got 5 times the tabloid stuff that Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com have. Let me tell you what's sensational. GOP gains slammed door on gun control push, the Hill. I'm going to be talking about that. Look at this. Putin and the Chinese president signed mega gas deal on second gas supply route. That ties into China mocks insipid Obama in wake of midterms. This was last week. And it says, state newspapers say America has grown tired of president's banality. Just days before he's due to visit, he's now over there. And to reject him, they signed this in front of him to show the weakness of Obama, the patheticness of his press secretary getting up there last week on Wednesday and saying losing the election isn't a loss. And the reporters laughed at him. Now, a few years ago, you wouldn't laugh at the emissary of the Lord and Savior, as Jamie Foxx called him, Barack Obama. Can we cue that up, please? I mean, if he said losing an election was winning one, then by golly, if he said 2 + 2 = 5, that was the way it was. But people don't buy it anymore. They jumped the shark. They went too far. And let me tell you who else is jumping the shark. The Republican Party now has suddenly the Bushes all over TV. Bush Sr., Jeb, W. Oh, we all want Jeb. Oh, he's the answer. I'm about ready to throw up. And you got Boehner parading around, oh, what a great leader he is, a great strategist. He rode a wave of dissatisfaction that we haven't seen in over 150 years in this country, a seismic shift. And believe me, it's going to destroy the Republican establishment next if they don't get in line. Plus, it's only a very small group of globalists that want a controlled economy and don't want prosperity and want to have a crony system that shuts down their competition. Most executives, most government people, most everybody I've talked to, and including a long list of billionaires, famous people, you name it, a lot of them on this show, they don't want to wreck America. They don't want to have World War III. They don't want to break up families. They don't want to take the guns. They want prosperity and stability. And it's become clear that the elites running things are radicals who want to wreck society, like Nero burning Rome because he wants to expand his palace. And the world is turning against it with human intelligence and resisting it. We'll be back with the news. I'm going to cover nothing but news till next hour. Special guest joins us.
In the near future.
When you realize how fake it all is, the football, the basketball.
Alert. Security alert. This is Homeland Security. Analysis. Infowars building independent media operation.
You let the worst people get controlled and tell us that we are the ones responsible.
Prime directive. Discredit Alex Jones.
Jones is the wildly popular conspiracy theorist.
A popular conspiracy theory talk show called Infowars.
Alex Jones is now in an Austin jail.
These people are assaulting us.
Targeting of patriots engaged.
They are never going to stop. They're never going to deviate from their program until we stop them.
Block free iPhone app at Infowars.com. Block free podcast and video feed. Imperative. Destroy Prison Planet.